It's nothing new for people, especially boys and girls in their adolescence, to experience discomfort with their bodies, even to feel like they were born in the wrong body, or that they would be happier if they were the opposite sex, or maybe if they were just sexless altogether. In most cases, people pass through this phase, and the tension between their self-perception and the outward reality resolves over time. But in recent years, this has changed dramatically. Children are now regularly encouraged to see gender as fluid and their sex as something that can be changed to match the way they inwardly feel about themselves. It would take hours to explain how this cultural shift has come about, but the root is a change in belief about what a human being is and why we exist in the world at all. For centuries, people believed that humans were thoughtfully and lovingly made in a particular way in order to participate in God's purpose for creation. Our bodies were received as gifts from God, and their form and function told us something about who we are and how we should exist meaningfully in this world. This was not limited to our sexual and reproductive functions, but it certainly included them. But today, the belief in a loving Creator who thoughtfully fashions us in His image has been replaced with a philosophical materialism in which the universe, our world, and human beings exist by mere chance, and our lives have no inherent purpose. And so with God out of the way, people are more than pleased to step into the vacancy. Our bodies become a blank canvas upon which we can impose whatever meaning we desire. And if we feel like we would be more comfortable in a different body, well, we're free to use hormones and chemicals as well as surgical interventions to reconfigure our anatomy into something that more closely approximates the idea that we have for ourselves. In other words, our bodies are just raw material with no more significance than Play-Doh. This modern ideology is just a cheap parody of reality. Instead of our bodies reflecting the image of the God above, they now reflect the image of the self within. And with those who have eyes to see, it's clear that the self within isn't nearly as good at this as the God above. Freeing ourselves of the burden of bearing God's image in our bodies as male and female may be euphoric for some for a while, but the battle with reality is not going to be a successful long-term strategy. Those struggling with gender dysphoria should have our compassion, and they should be folded into the family of God where they can find the relational support and spiritual help they need to live God-honoring lives. But you know, the transformation that they and all of us need is not primarily a change in the outward body, but a change of heart and mind, a transformation of the inner person into the likeness of Christ. Trying to change our outward circumstances in order to match our inward desires is understandable. We all want to do that in many different areas of life. But the truth is that changing our situation, even to the point of altering our bodies, isn't going to heal the ache inside. Only turning to the Lord and finding in Him the renewal and healing that we need can we be made whole.